I bring on all these people, all these stalkers, all these mavens, or all geniuses. I go, this guy flew jets. This guy's had a great career in TV. He's got a tremendous radio show right now. His Newsmax show kicks ass every night. In fact, this morning you'll notice on Truth Social that President Trump truthed Greg, talking about the president last night and his monstrous 56% approval rating. I go, Justin, stop putting Kelly on every week. Come on, he knows about this stuff. So here he is.
Thank you for the opportunity, Sid. I'm a little overwhelmed. It's so nice to see you. It's an interesting, fascinating time. Lucky to be alive. Don't you feel? It's an amazing time to be alive right now. It's a challenging time, but it's a great time.
No, it is if you're in Manhattan. Of course, if you're in Tehran right now, you may not feel that way, Greg.
Well, true. We were lucky. We were born lucky, quite frankly.
We were
born in America.
That's right. You can't pick that. But one of the conversations we had, which I thought was great, many of them are, but you were talking about the bombs, okay? So you flew jets. So you know exactly in terms of altitude, in terms of weight, what bombs can be dropped from what plane and where. So as we talk about I still think the probability, not possibility, probability of Trump and the United States getting involved, bunker busters, maybe mother of all bombs. Tell me what that looks like from a fighter.
Well, thank you. To be honest, look, do I know all the altitudes off the top of my head? No, I forgot a lot of the stuff. I moved on. You see it on Fox. You see these guys, and I have total respect for them. I'm friends with some of them. But I left the military. You know what I mean? I moved on from that. Some guys present themselves as, I was in the military, get out of my way. And, I was in the military from 91 to 2000. It was fun. It was also hard. And I left, because I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Right. And you got hurt. You got hurt, too.
I got banged up a couple of times.
Yeah.
But it's so I don't pretend I am this all-purpose military expert. I do have a bit more insight, I guess, than the average person. But I will tell you this, even the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, this is not his decision. It's President Trump's, and the military works for him. There is not a military definitive solution here. I mean, there are proposals. And there are also like 10,000 things we don't know, and Trump gets the intelligence, and some of that intelligence is quite frankly slanted. They try to put him in a box. But President Trump is almost like a mystic. He's one thing they never talk about, how perceptive he is. He is so, when he listens to you, he's not just listening to you. He's got sonar, radar. He's picking up all this stuff. And I trust him to make the right decision. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
You don't have a gut feeling?
I'm actually at this point with the 2 weeks. We're going to go in 2 weeks. By the way, he didn't say we're going to bomb in 2 weeks. We're going to go in 2 weeks. What does that actually mean? Within 2 weeks, I don't think he wants to do it. I think he's looking for a way out, another solution. And by the way, my knowledge of that bomb is it may not work. It may not go deep enough to get this thing. It may not do the trick.
You're talking about the bunker buster.
The bunker buster.
But not the mother of all bombs, that thing.
The mother of all bombs is more of a surface kind of weapon,
okay.
And the bunker buster. But there's only so much you can do with an air campaign. It's not. A lot of people think that, okay, we send in the bombers, everything's going to be fixed. No. You remember, they thought that during the Iraq War. You send in the military. Oh, the military will have these precision strikes. Like, stuff always goes wrong. And even when we got bin Laden, the helicopter crashed right there in the middle of the operation.
That's right.
We were lucky. We were good. So you really want to use it as a last resort. And I like that President Trump is openly saying, I haven't made up my mind yet. And the situation changes. Bush wanted to go to war no matter what. He was going to go to war no matter what the hell happened, and they were going to get whatever pretext worked, but they were going.
Yeah.
And it was so refreshing. It's like, the situation changes. So I'm not going to make the decision until like 1 second before I have to. And there's something really great about that.
No, it is. I mean, Bush had 20 reasons why. I mean, he was angry about his father, and then he had the weapons of mass destruction. He listened to people like Wolfowitz and Rumsfeld and Condi. They were telling him one thing and Cheney, who was making a ton of money off all that stuff. So we had a million reasons why. I like that about Trump, too. But there are people that are saying to me, and I don't subscribe, they say to me, he's not the same guy. 2016, 2018, he blew Soleimani into 1,000 bits. He bombed Syria, no questions about it. This is not the same guy. They're worried he's too worried about his legacy as this peace president than it is about doing the right thing. That's what his critics were saying.
I don't think I think he wants to do the right thing. I do. I don't think he's worried about his legacy. I know that he turned off a bombing mission all the way back in 2018. They were scheduled to hit Iran. Iran had just taken out an unmanned drone, right? Iran fired an American drone, damaged it, whatever, destroyed it. So the operation was, okay, we're going to bomb them in retaliation. And everything was set up and they were going to bomb. And President Trump at the last second said, there are going to be 150 body bags. And I don't like that. It's disproportionate.
Yeah.
And he called it off. And, like Bolton went nuts. That Bolton guy.
John Bolton, yeah.
He went ballistic. And he says in his book, it was the most irresponsible thing I had ever seen in my entire government.
He's an idiot.
Well, it's fascinating, though. He said the most irresponsible thing he ever saw was President Trump saying, don't bomb Iran right now.
Right.
Which is totally counter to the fake news narrative that Trump is like this trigger-happy guy.
No. John Bolton is, Lindsey Graham is, but not the president.
So was he thinking about his legacy? I think he was thinking about the right thing. I think he wants to do the right thing, and he understands you got to be tough. You can't. It's not peace beyond anything else. It's like this is the real world. He knows that. So, but I don't know, and I'm not gonna. You see Huckabee? You see the message you sent him?
I loved it.
It was really great, right?
I loved it.
You said, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just know that you're the man to decide what to do because God wants you there. And I totally believe that.
Trust the man, trust the plan. The right thing to do, about 3 minutes to go. You've been on this, almost crusade to make sure that Andrew Cuomo doesn't win this primary and ends up on mayor. And that's fine because I can't stand Cuomo either. Now, where you and I differ is I would take Cuomo over Mamdani. That's just me. I think Mamdani is really dangerous. He's a socialist. He's a terrorist. He hates Jewish people. To me, he's the worst of the three. And I don't like Eric Adams either. I think Eric Adams is a phony and a fraud. And it makes me nauseous watching all these Jewish people in New York City fawn over this guy like he's the next savior when he loves hanging out with anti-Semites, whether it's Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, Sneeko. That's Eric Adams' thing. He loves those guys. So I think they're all bad. I think Brad Lander's bad. I think Agent Adams is bad. I've never seen a collection of losers like this. So what's the right thing to do, Greg, on Tuesday?
I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody. Well, for me, the right thing to do is we already know that Cuomo basically destroyed the city and state. He literally let lunatics go.
No argument.
But that's like, you think about that. He already did it. The idea that somehow this is the least of it all. He already let the lunatics go. He cashed in while he was governor, the most corrupt act, $5 million while he's sitting there as the governor, having a great time, having an affair with Miss Melissa Russo, who's whatever.
DeRosa, yeah.
That's Melissa Russo is actually not bad. So I find him repugnant. I just find him, and I also look. If Cuomo were to win the nomination, everybody would be like, okay, that's it. It's going to be Cuomo. Like, if Mamdani gets it, and I don't like Mamdani, I really think Curtis has a real shot to be the next mayor. It's going to be a jump ball. There's going to be like 5 people on the general election ballot.
That's right.
And
Jim Walden will be there too. He'll be the 5th.
No, yeah, we got Walden, you got Sliwa, you got Mamdani potentially,
Cuomo and Adams.
There you go.
Those are your 5. Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think you make a great point that if Mamdani wins, Curtis has a better chance of beating him than Cuomo. The fear is if Cuomo wins a primary, then he becomes a runaway train.
Yeah, I mean a runaway train. This culture that it's so weird that it doesn't even feel like it's a mayor's race. I mean, you remember a lot of elections. I heard you say. I remember 1977. I was in 3rd grade, and the whole country was talking about that race.
Yeah.
And the runoff between Cuomo and Koch, and it was fascinating, and everybody was talking about it. This is some sideshow that very few people like. You could walk around and never hear about it.
I know. And then this new thing we got to run, but this new Democrat, I guess it's their new plan, which is whether it's Alex Padilla in California or that moron Brad Lander here, even Ross Baraka in
getting
Jersey.
Arrested.
Yeah, let me go beat up somebody. Let me mess with a law. I had Tom Homan on 2 days ago. I go, Tom, how are you allowing these people to literally physically hurt law enforcement people?
Yeah, he's not. I mean, they're arresting those guys.
Yeah, you got to beat them over the head. You got to bash them in the face. What do you mean you can't? You did that, didn't you?
What?
You had hand-to-hand combat in Iraq, no?
Nah,
No?
I mean, like you didn't like to get that close. I mean, look, you can take care of business a half mile away,
Right.
10,000 feet high. No, I was only in Iraq as well. What the hell? I did fly over Iraq in the
Yeah, you got.
no-fly zone.
Didn't you get hurt there in Iraq?
That's-
That's where you took the shrapnel.
I was an embedded journalist when that happened.
Oh, okay.
No, but that was like a big deal. The most combat I ever saw was as a civilian journalist. So, look, law enforcement, they have such a tough spot to be in. But I will say, it's funny. You see the video and you see cops pushing people. Oh, my gosh, how did that happen? Like, these are human beings. It's fascinating that in everything I've seen, the cops are always portrayed as the bad guys in all of these ICE riots or whatever. But on January 6th, right, it was the one time that the left was on the side of the cops, the one time, because it was a trap, because it was a setup to cancel MAGA, to cancel Trump.
Yeah.
And but it backfired.
And they're still in prison, some of those guys. Hey, you're terrific. Greg Kelly is on 12:15 to 3 every day. Tremendous talent, great guy. And I look forward to doing this weekly, all the time, okay?
Thank you, Sid.
Thank you.
Great to see you, buddy.
You too.